What's splashing this Soldier the Game Spitter? This the truth on how BG got Cash Money, they major record deal with Universal Records. Yo, we finna go back, yo. We finna put some respect on BG name, Lil Doogie, straight up. We gonna go all the way back to 1995. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like button. We going back all the way to 95. 95, right? BG, you know, around 95, Cash Money was, they were original roster. A lot of them got murdered, or they died, or they left the group. You know, the ones that didn't die or get killed, you know, bad business. Lil Slim left. Yeah, Lil Slim, he left. You had Kilo G got killed. Kilo G was the first artist on Cash Money. You know, he had that CD called The Bloody City. That was you know what I'm saying? 421 murders up in 1994. Now it was 1995. 94 was at the door, and I contributed to the murder every time I used my 4-4, my Glock, my pump. Yeah, he was real pressure. Kilo G was pressure. Kilo G was pressure back then. He died. Pimp Daddy died. My nigga Pimp had all his hoes in check. My nigga Pimp, hoes never disrespect. Pimp Daddy got killed, right? I might be saying his name wrong. Mr. Iveen, 187 in the hiking mask. I remember that CD. I got that CD. 187 in the hiking mask. He died. I think of AIDS. I think he died of AIDS. He didn't get killed. Miss T, she left. No, I think she was finna leave. She stayed one more year. This 95. She stayed one because she was on that Chopper City CD. Yeah, she stayed one more year. She was finna leave. Their R&B group they had, they was finna leave, or they already left. You see what I'm saying? So it was really Yellow Boy around this time. I think, I mean, UNLV, they was finna make their last out. They was on the edge of leaving. 95, they was on their last leg finna leave. They did one more album, Uptown for Life. They was finna leave. The Yellow Boy get killed. You see what I'm saying? So really, 95. This Lil Wayne was around, you know, but he was still, you know, Daddy didn't let him cuss at his music. Daddy's his real daddy. Still had his you know what I'm saying, his hand by the back of his neck, you know. But, you know, he was spitting, and they let him, you know, Birdman let him and BG do a collabo joint. Wayne wasn't on every track. He was on about 3 or 4 tracks. You know, they came out, it was called the BG's True Story. You know, that Uptown Soldier, gangsta out there 13, real niggas who be chillin' on Banner Street. What else they had on there? Maybe, was Bun B on there? I ain't sure Bun B was on there. That True Story went crazy. I think they did like 40,000. They had that. You see, I'm taking up fucking shows. Nigga, come with it all. Yeah, you gotta stack tall and have your back against the wall. Nigga, let your nuts hang. Instead, you gotta slang and some fucking drummer jump. Act a fool with your thing. Yeah, they're down for my stacks with E. Bishop was on there. Mr. IV was on there. Yeah, that went crazy. So they had I think they did like 40, 50,000 units. You know, something light, you know, something light and bright, you know, at the trunk. Yeah. So they had that, the BGs. But before BG dropped the True Stories, so okay. So they came out with that. They came out with it. So they didn't warm the surrounding areas around Louisiana with the True Stories. What really warmed the streets up, where they get a buzz, like in Houston and Dallas and Mississippi, was the UNLV joint, the Uptown for Life joint with the Dragging Through the River, this is Mystical and Big Boy. That song right there got a lot of buzz, and it got a lot of push. You know, but then like shortly after that, Yellow Boy was killed. You know, but before that, even if he didn't get killed, they still was on the rocky terms with Birdman. Matter of fact, Yellow Boy beat up Birdman in front of the projects. You know, he put hands on him, and you know, New Orleans know the truth behind that. And the truck got shot up too. Behind that, a truck got shot up, but that's another story. But the Yellow Boy get killed. UNLV got people talking. They talking in Texas. They talking in Mississippi, some parts of the Carolinas. Then, so after that happened, BG come out in '96. Come out with Chopper City. Now this right here, Chopper City joint. He come out with his anthem called Uptown Thing. The surrounding areas around the South picked up on that one. I think that city did over 100,000 units in the streets around '96. This is around the time, you know, Pac getting killed. You know, they going through the East Coast versus West Coast. situation was going on. But BG bringing that funk. BG bringing that pressure. He had a lot of hits on there. He had a lot of street anthems on there. That's what I mean. He had a lot of street anthems on there. The project did really good. Over 100,000 sold. You know, DJ Khaled, he was coming down there. I think he had a record store down there around that time, 96, 97. He was moving a lot of BG CDs. Anybody who was moving their CDs for him, no, BG was the top dog. BG was the one who selling out the shows. When they go on tour, when they was hitting the small cities in the area, when they was hitting the surrounding cities in different states, BG was selling out them tickets. BG was selling out them shows. Not Juvie, Twerk, and Wayne. It was Lil Doogie. You respect that. This is why Birdman tatted BG right here. Yeah. BG used to call Birdman daddy. Wayne got his real daddy, but Wayne looked up to BG. The reason why Wayne wanted to be a gangster was because of BG. Not because of nobody else in the world. It was because of BG. He used to try to rap like BG. He looked up to BG for everything. BG was the star. Respect that. I know you don't want to believe it. I know it hurt, but it's true, man. Wayne daddy was BG first, and Wayne looked up to BG and wanted to rap like him, and that's the reason why he was trying to be a gangster and all that stuff. Because he looked up to Lil Doogie. Understand that, man. It's like, if you go back and listen to Let's Get Funky, he rapped just like BG. In them early on songs like that. So on that Chopper City, had a lot, had Miss T was on there. Juvenile introduction, Juvie was on there. Bon B was on there. So, with Bon B being on there, you're going to get some play in Texas. So, that album did good. So after that, Juvie come out with his solo joint, Soulja Rags. They did okay. They did all right in the street. Soulja Rag had the Soulja Rag song on there. Big Mo from CP3 was on there. Twerk, that was Twerk introduction. The first time you ever heard Twerk on a Cash Money song, it was on that Soulja Rag song. I think it's all like, I started popping, niggas started dropping, I haven't faded thoughts, I'm thinking fucking still shocking. That song right there, I think that was Twerk's first verse he ever recorded under a Cash Money umbrella. He was on that We Did That. They say, BG, you did that? He was on that We Did That song too, Twerk. I think he was on like 3 songs on that, 2 or 3 songs on that. Twerk was on 2 or 3 songs on the Soulja Rag. He got some play on the Soulja Rag. He was on that We Did That with Big Mo. Don't get caught up, fool, in the wrong way, cause them niggas out there, yo, straight toting them AKs. He was on that joint. So Twerk was coming up. So that album did pretty good. Then 97, he come out with It's All On You, Volume 1. That CD did really good. That CD did real well. Another 6-figure plus unit sold in the streets. He had Get Your Shine On there. That was ringing through the streets. He had Wayne got back on that joint. Think Bon B was on that joint too. Because they put that They put 2 different versions of that. We coming to get ya. You better watch your baby for they mother and split y'all niggas. They coming to get ya. They put 2. They put one on Chopper City and they put one on It's All On You with Miss T on the hook. That was Miss T on that hook. So that did good. Then at the end of like the 4th quarter of 97, he came out with It's All On You Volume 2. It's All On You Volume 2 came out. Now, around this time, BG was probably going through a dark spot. BG was probably going through a dark space because his partner got killed. LT. That was him and LT was like this. It was Black Connection 226. The BG nigga. Yeah, nigga, you creepy because I'm creepy. Them niggas peeping. I'm on my game, ready to release in the rearrange your fucking brain. Yeah, LT got killed. That hurt BG. That probably hurt BG more than Soulja Slim getting killed. That was his best friend. He loved LT. He loved LT. So understand that, man. So, you know, that CD did good. 2 albums back to back. DMX wasn't the first rapper to drop 2 albums back to back. It was BG, but it was on an underground level. It was on the underground level, and they both did 100,000 plus. So after this, now the labels starting to look into Cash Money. They starting to offer them different deals. But Birdman, he was already a millionaire. He was already getting paper, so he was turning down a lot of deals. He wasn't signing anything. He wasn't hungry for no money. It was already getting money through the Telly Hankton crew, through what them Hot Boys was doing on the streets, because that's who the Hot Boys was really imitating, the real Hot Boys, Mosquito, Dooney, and Gangsta. You know what I'm saying? All them legends right there. And then around this time, you know, they forming the Hot Boys group. 97, the Get It How You Live came out too. They really had 5 members at first. It was Bulletproof. Bulletproof was 5, but BG voted them off. First BG was rocking with them because BG, he was on all BG CD. He was on that Chopper City. He was on that VL, 10 Wall. I put it up raw. Strap the Glock, I hit your block. I live or die. 17 shots come out the Glock. Bow down, clown. When you hit your foot, I'm tearing it down. His name was Lil Derek too. Some niggas call him Bulletproof. Some call him Lil Derek. And he was on that Cash Money niggas. The Cash Money niggas got the biggest guns. It's like the hip to the hop. That 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Cash Money niggas got the biggest guns. What did he say on that? Living uptown, you gotta be trife. Be down to take a life. Yeah, he went crazy on them. But BG voted them off when it was time to come out with their first solo album. And BG the word was law, because BG was the big dog. BG was the one who's moving the units. This is why, you know, Birdman tatted the BG right here. You know, they used to dedicate like that Sugar and Pop song that Wayne did, like Sugar and Pop, something, baby and BG, yeah. That was Birdman. BG was Birdman's son first. Birdman and Slim put BG first in front of everybody first. But what hurt BG was the reason why BG worked so hard dropping all these albums. He was working so hard dropping all these albums. But Juvenile got all this shine because what happened with BG was getting arrested a lot. He was getting locked up on probation. Got to go see his PO a lot. So Birdman and Slim always been a businessman. When they not around, when they going to get high, play with their nose, Juvie probably was just smoking the gas. It probably wasn't no gas back then. Probably smoking the dro or the mid. Birdman and Slim would be talking in the back room like, shh, man, this little dude, goddamn, he stayed. Because, you know, it's a lot of old Cash Money films. It's a lot of old Cash Money films where BG wasn't there. BG wasn't there because BG got to go see his PO. BG was getting caught with guns and, you know, he had a drug habit, addiction. And a lot of niggas was on that dog food, that boy, back then. The reason why, the good thing about being on that boy and you living in the murder capital, you living in Chopper City, what the boy gonna do for you is, it's like a bulletproof vest, cause it can save your life getting full of that heroin. Yeah, cause it's slowing your heartbeat down. So if you get wet up, if you get shot up, you know your heart not gonna beat normally like it would be. So you won't bleed out as fast like you normally would if you wasn't on no heavy drug like that. So if you on that boy, and you know you get stabbed up or shot up, you know you got a good chance of surviving if you could drive yourself to the hospital. And when you panicking, you won't just bleed out, because that dog food, especially if they got it from St. Thomas, if they got that trash from St. Thomas, yeah, they got that pressure from St. Thomas, yeah, you weren't gonna bleed out fast. So, and, you know, and that was a thing to do too. On the other end, that's one thing, and then it was a thing to do. A lot of holes on it, and like it was like how everybody smoked weed in your city where you from. Yeah, everybody was on that pretty much. You sniffing or you shooting it up. You know, it was time to graduate. The bag wasn't doing the job no more. Tap the needle with some dope. Tap back that vein. Smoke blunt. Sometimes it's all about that vein. Understand that, man. Understand, little doogie. Yeah, some call him junkie, but niggas don't know he get funky. Yeah. But anyway, so while BG going through all these court cases and he still got one foot in the streets, Birdman started leaning towards Juvie. Yeah, Birdman started leaning up towards Juvie. And around this time, so 97 passed, 98 come, the end of 97, 98 come, you know, Juvie dropped that thing up with 400 degrees, and high the attention of up north New York niggas, like out west niggas, the whole South. You know, they picked up on Juvie. Birdman didn't get that reaction from BG. BG was just really taking over the South. It was some niggas that would listen to him on the West Coast, but it wasn't strong enough. It was just a few niggas that would listen to him. Maybe a few, like a small percentage that would listen to him on the West Coast. But BG just really had the South. But Juvie, when Juvie dropped his second album, he started up north, started playing them. They were playing that high, and out west and down south, and so Birdman being the businessman, he started leaning towards Juvie. BG going through his issue, but then BG hit him with a block attack, and BG hit him with a block attack and came out with that bling bling with the Chopper City in the Ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really got him. They really got him the deal. In my opinion, that bling bling song got Birdman and y'all that Universal deal. It was BG work. It was BG hard work. It was BG record sales. It really wasn't Juvie. Juvie just put the icing on the cake, but it was BG that baked the cake. But Juvenile was the icing, which it's all the same team. Love. I ain't taking nothing from Juvie. I'm just saying, a lot of y'all niggas be lying, and y'all be giving Juvie and Wayne all this extra credit, and it was BG. BG moved the units. When the record label went and looked at who's selling, okay, if we signed you, what can you do for us? They looking at BG stats, not Juvie and Wayne and Turk and all them other niggas. They was looking at BG stats. Okay, and you got these two. That what that was on that, man. Respect Lil Doogie. So then, when the deal came, they just took off, like, as you know what it is. Like they went crazy. They took off, like. Juvenile went crazy. Like, first album, Soulja Rag, a lot of people think 400 Degrees Juvie's first album. It wasn't. Soulja Rag his first album. They really didn't do good, but the second one did 5 M's. And BG never did no numbers like that. BG did go platinum with the Chopper City in the Ghetto. It didn't do Juvenile numbers on his second solo. And that's what really happened with that. That's why Juvenile got all the shine, because BG was going to jail too much and in the streets too much. And even though BG was the hardest working out of all of them, look at how many albums he put out. He was the hardest. Even though he was on that dog food, he still outworked all them niggas. That's why he had all them CDs. By the time Juvie had his second solo album, by 98, BG had like 4 or 5 CDs out. Albums. Not including the Hot Boy joint. But it was a business move. Like, the people around America took on to Juvenile how Juvenile gave it up. They like how Juvenile, he was lyrical, and he could make hit records on far as the radio. BG was for the streets. He's the heart of the streets. Juvie, a lot of street niggas like him too. If you're one of them smart niggas and that's in the streets, but you about to get money and, you know what I'm saying, surviving and see through, and you want to be sober and see through niggas and know how to move, you listen to Juvie. If you just reckless and you just really thugging, BG, or you listen to Turk and BG. And Wayne can just fit in any kind of way. Like, he was just versatile where he can just fit in any kind of way, you know what I'm saying? So that what that was on that, man. That what that was on that. After a lot of touring, a lot of success off of Juvie, the Hot Boy CDs, all the hits, then their eyes started waking up. When they went on the downfall of Cash Money, the beginning of the Hot Boys, like that era right there, the BGs, the Juvie, and all that there, was when they went. I feel like their last good moment was when they went on the Cash Money Rough Rider tours. Because after that tour right there, that's when a lot of Cash Money members start opening their eyes up, because it was all in the news what they gross and what they was making. That's when it all started going downhill for like BG, and because once BG left Cash Money, the streets left Cash Money pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's what there was on that. And Juvenile started paying attention more. Wayne started paying attention. Turk started paying attention more. They were starting to see what UNLV and all the rest of them was talking about. Because I'm pretty sure UNLV told them, like, man, them niggas ain't right. And, niggas ain't gonna listen. BG looked up to Birdman as a father. He took him on his wings so young. I think he met him in the barbershop when Buddy introduced BG to Birdman in the barbershop. Yeah. So that what that was. Y'all know the rest of the history. But I just had to let it be known. My opinion, I feel like BG was the heart of the Cash Money. BG, I feel like Cash Money when it got to where they got that fast, if it wasn't for the BG, because BG held Cash Money on his back when everybody left. Everybody had left or everybody got killed, and it was only Manny Fresh and the BG there, and they made it happen. And then everybody else came up and picked up the tracks and took it to where it's at now, to this day, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the comment section, man. All the New Orleans niggas and them Baton Rouge niggas, man. How y'all feel about that, man? I'm about accurate on there. I know I could have said something off a little bit, but let me know if I'm accurate on this story right here, man. How y'all feel about the BG? Gone.